Hi friends, so today you are going to be writing a narrative. That means you're going to be writing a true story about something that really happened to you. So this isn't a made-up story, this is real nonfiction. And I'm going to ask you to write about a time that you made something. So it could be anything that you've made. I'm going to write about making hummingbird food. And I'm going to ask you to use these 4 key words to start 4 sentences, okay? First, next, then, and finally. Let's see, we know what all of these words mean, right? First, we know what that means. It comes before anything else. Next, then, and finally means it's the final step. It's the last thing that you do. So we're going to use these 4 words in order to help tell our narrative about something that we've made. All right, friends, so since I am writing a story that's going to need to have 4 sentences, I'm going to help myself by dividing my paper into 4. You don't have to do this, but if it helps you, you can. So I'll fold my paper in half, and I'll fold it in half again. Now when I open it up, I have 4 spots for my 4 sentences. Okay, so you're going to be writing about a time that you made something. You're going to be writing what we call a narrative. So that means it's a true story. It's something that really happened to you, something you really did, and I want you to write about something that you made. So you could write about a food that you made. You could write about an art project you made. You could even write about making your bird nest the other day. Anything that you have ever made, you can write about. So I'm going to write about a time I made hummingbird food for my hummingbird feeder, which I really love to watch the hummingbirds come, so I like to make their nectar. And the very first thing my story needs is a title. So I'm going to keep my title nice and simple and just say exactly what the story is about. I made hummingbird nectar. And remember, when we write a title, the first letter of each word needs to be a capital. Then I'll put an underline under my title. Then I need to write my name and today's date. Okay, now I'm ready to write my story. Remember those key words we're going to use. First, next, then, and finally. So even though I have 4 boxes, I'm not going to start at the bottom of the box because then I'm going to run out of room. I'm going to leave myself as much room as I can, and I'll start with the word first. First, I got out sugar, a pot, and a spoon. Period. Remember that the end of your sentence has to have punctuation and the first letter needs to be a capital. Really important. And you'll notice too, when I'm writing a list of things, if you're going to write about a list of materials you got, I used a comma to separate my list. Here's what it would sound like without a comma. First, I got out sugar, a pot, a spoon. Doesn't really make sense, right? Now let's read it with the comma. First, I got out sugar, a pot, and a spoon. It helps us pause in between the words so they make more sense. Okay, my next key word is next. Next, I boiled water in the pot and measured the sugar. Put a period. Okay, So now I've got out my materials, I've boiled the water and measured the sugar. What did I do next? Okay, so I put my third keyword, then I stirred. Never written the word stirred before. I don't really know how to spell it. I guess I'm just going to have to try sounding it out. St, st, d. Stirred the sugar in and let it, oh, I'm out of room. Should I try and squeeze my word in really small? No, I'm going to go to the next line. And then my last keyword is finally. Finally means like this is the final step. It's the last step. Finally, I poured the nectar into the feeder. Okay, now that I'm done writing my story, I'm going to check and make sure it has all of the things that it needs to have. It has a title where each letter, each beginning letter of a new word is capitalized, has my name and the date. My first sentence starts with a capital and has punctuation. My next sentence starts with a capital and has punctuation. This sentence starts with a capital and has punctuation, and so does this one. I've got finger spaces in between my words. And I've used the 4 keywords first, next, then, and finally. So my story